Hey, what is going on? Of course, to all of my alternative book snobs out there, it is me, Amira Blaze, and welcome back to another fine episode of Bookshade. So guys, I'm not gonna waste any time, okay? We're gonna get down to business for today's episode. And this is an exciting one, guys, because I am doing my first ever reading sprint. Okay, so what a reading sprint is you pretty much try to read as much of a book as you can with a certain within a certain time frame. So I picked 20 minutes and I want to see how far I can get today, actually. Okay, so the book that I am going to be reading is this one here. It's the first 3 books in this Vampire Kisses series by Ellen Schreiber. So this is it here. So it's just Vampire Kisses. So let me read the synopsis for you. So it says here, the mansion on top of Benson Hill has stood empty for years, but one day it seems to be occupied, and its mysterious, handsome inhabitant, Alexander Sterling, becomes the source of much talk around town. Raven, a vampire-obsessed goth girl who has always considered herself an outsider in Dullsville, is determined to uncover the truth surrounding the secretive Alexander. So I was like, this sounds really good. So I was like, let me give it a try and see how I feel about it. But guys, this is not any ordinary regular reading sprint. This is a reading sprint challenge, and what I'm going to be doing is a vampire romance reading sprint, and I am applying the rules of various readathons. This time around, I'm applying the rules of 2 readathons that are currently going on right now, and that is the Readathin readathon as well as the series Crackdown. So for every episode of this reading sprint challenge that I do, guys, at the top of every episode, I'm going to explain what the rules are for each readathon and the book that I'm going to be reading, and simple as that. So all right, so these are the readathon rules, guys, that I'm going to be applying. So the first one is called Series Crackdown, and this one is currently going on right now this month. So what Series Crackdown is you pick a particular series and you try to read as much of the series as you can within a month. So this readathon is great for those of you who love big or even a small like trilogy, but just getting your series done in your TBRs. So I highly recommend this one if you are into series and you're trying to finish as many of books within a series as you possibly can. So currently right now for my TBR, for those of you who are not into booktube like that, or if you're new to the booktube community, TBR stands for to be read. So it's pretty much a list of what you're reading. So for me, for series Crackdown right now, I'm going to be reading the Vampire Kisses book series by Ellen Schreiber. I also will be reading Black Dagger Brotherhood by J.R. Ward, and currently I am on book 3 for that, which I'm really excited because book 3 is all about Zadis. Ooh, I love me some Z, let me tell you. I go back and forth. I'm like, I'm Team Wrath, then I'm Team Rage, then I'm Team Z. Zadis, he is something else, but there's a heart somewhere in there. But I digress. So those are the 2 book series, guys, that I'm going to be focusing on for series Crackdown. So here are the rules of this readathon. So you have this chart here, and here are the categories. So you have first book in a series, sequel, gathering dust on your shelf. You also have glossy cover, fantasy, read with a snack. That's my personal favorite. no, I'm extra. Then you also have animal on the cover, and finally recommended by a friend. So the Vampire Kisses book series, guys, it's the first 3 books in this Vampire Kisses book series, so that I would say applies. It doesn't have a glossy cover. I actually put tape over it because this book copy that I got of Vampire Kisses the beginning, the cover was kind of weak, so I tend to use clear like moving tape or clear packaging tape, and it really like makes it like stay in place, and it prevents the cover from like really coming off. I only do it with my books that I know the covers are they're going to rip, or there's gonna be some like damage in the future, so that's what I did with this book in particular. So I wouldn't count it as a glossy cover because it doesn't come like that. It's a matte cover. It's a matte paperback, to be exact. Now there are some fantasy elements, but the Vampire Kiss book series, or Kisses book series, is not full-blown fantasy like that. Then I did eat something, so I am going to be reading with a snack inside of my stomach, so that should count. No animals on the cover, and this was not recommended by a friend. This was my recommendation that I gave to myself based on research. There are a lot of sequels. There are a lot of series in the books, this particular book series, so I think that counts. And then finally, yeah, this book series was gathering some motherfucking dust. Okay, so time for me to read it, honey. Okay, so those are the rules that I'm going to be applying for series Crackdown Readathon. The second readathon that I'm going to be participating in for this challenge is the Readathin readathon, which is also currently going on right now. There's also a horror readathon that is going on, and it's like a 24-hour, I believe, horror readathon going on. And then there's also this one, the Readathin, and there is a history readathon going on too. So there's a lot of them. And also there's one ongoing that's called a yearathon, which is a readathon that takes a whole year to complete. So there's a lot of them, but I try to focus on 2 readathons at a time. And I even do the readathons even outside, guys, of the time when it's actually going on. It's just really fun to do like a reading sprint with like a readathon challenge with it. I thought it was, I just wanted to do something different here on the show. So getting back into it, what is Readathin? So readathon, guys, is just like how it sounds. You are trying to thin out your TBR, so your to be read, okay, list. So how many books in that TBR can you thin out? Like how many can you read so you thin out your TBR, okay? So here are the stipulations. So you have read a book that is part of a series, which I am. Read a book that was published in 2017. Unfortunately, this one does not apply because it was published in 2009. Read a book with a plant on the cover. No plant here, okay? Read a book chosen by someone else. This was my personal recommendation based on research. And read your shortest book. This is actually over 500 pages. So we'll see, because it is 3 books combined, so I think that might count. We shall see. Okay. So also, guys, some readathons actually have what are called Bookstagram challenges. So for those of you who are not familiar with what Bookstagram is Instagram with books. And I actually have mine is more of it's a Bookstagram with like book reviews and stuff. So it's kind of like I have like a hybrid Bookstagram in a way. So these are the challenges for your Bookstagram for the Readathin readathon. So there's a lot of really cool ones. I have to say, from the bottom of my heart, because I can only speak for myself as a person of color, I really want to thank a lot of you in the booktube community for really slowly but surely recognizing people of color in this community. It really, from the bottom of my heart, it really means a lot. But you guys know I am always a person of color second, and what comes first on this program is sharing my love of reading paranormal romance and talking about webtoons, and also also talking about historical fiction as well. So I really love the fact that they have people of color authors. I also like number 6, which is favorite LGBTQIA plus romance. So that's really cool. They also have like tea or coffee. I think I could do that one. Like recommend a book, I could probably do. So if you have a bookstagram, this is really fun to do, coinciding the actual like reading that you're going to be doing during this readathon. So let's get started here. This is the book that I am going to be reading. This is called Vampire Kisses: The Beginning by Ellen Schreiber. And let me make sure I'm being clear here. Vampire Kisses: The Beginning, guys, comprises of the first 3 books in the series. This is like a compilation book. So you get Vampire Kisses, Vampire Kisses 2, which is called Kissing Coffins, and Vampire Kisses 3, which is Vampireville. Okay, so we're gonna be reading the first book, which is called Vampire Kisses. Guys, I was really fortunate. I was able to get the audio book. Like the audio book. I cannot talk today. What is going on with me? I must be really tired, but I digress. But yeah, I was really fortunate, guys. I was able to get the audio book version. So while I'm actually reading the book, I'm gonna be listening to it as well. That's just the way I like to read, because I like to see the words and hear it too, if possible. All right, so we're gonna get started here. And you know what I'm gonna do too, guys? Give me a second here. I'm going to turn my fan on because it's actually really warm in here. So give me a second. I'll be back, guys. All right. Sorry about that, guys, but yeah, it was getting really hot and I was feeling really uncomfortable. All right, guys, so here is my first ever reading sprint for Vampire Kisses by Ellen Schreiber, and I think we have let's see what we got here. We actually have a reading sprint countdown, and it starts right now. And I'm actually going to be reacting too, so Okay, so they're asking. Okay, so they're in this classroom, guys, and they're asking her, "Hey, what do you want to be? You know, when you grow up?" And she's like, "I want to be a vampire." It's like, what? It's a great occupation, you know. Oh my gosh, me and Raven, guys, we have so much in common. Because she's like obsessed with like vampire literature and all that as much as I am. I love her. She is everything, guys. All right, you know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm actually, because this book is so heavy, I actually have a book stand. I'm gonna get that. Give me a second. I'll be right back here. All right, that is much better. Oh my gosh, much better. All right, let's continue here, guys. This is so funny, guys. Oh my gosh. It's absolutely hilarious. I love the way that she describes her friend's mother, Becky, as being a corporate Kathy. That was so funny. A corporate Kathy, a hot mess. Sorry for yawning, guys. It's been a long day. Yes! Oh, she's an Anne Rice book fan, guys. Anne Rice book stan. I love it. I love it. I love Raven, guys, as a character. She is so feisty and spunky, and she's kooky and spooky. Like, definitely to me, like, just an awesome character, well-rounded. Plus, she likes Anne Rice. Enough said, okay? I am so sorry for yawning, guys. Oh, man. Aww. Guys, I really love Anne Rice, so that's really cool. Like, she actually in the book like meets her, which is cool. So yeah, I'm liking this book so far. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. The chapters are very short, so that's good. Guys, this book is so good because it just kind of reminds you of, like, you know, everybody goes through like a different fashion phase. Like, you know, she's really into like the gothic culture and stuff, but the rest of her family just thinks she's weird and stuff. And there are so many really good like pop culture references, talking about Christopher Lee, for example, as Dracula in the Hammer films. So you can tell that Ellen really did a lot of really good research to make sure that the character of Raven is very relatable. It's so relatable, guys. This is a great, I'm liking this story so far. This is hilarious. That's why I'm laughing the whole time. All right, done reading. So what I'm gonna do, guys, with every reading sprint that I do, I'm just gonna do a reflection of how each one of these 20-minute like sessions, how I feel. This book, guys, is fucking hilarious. That's why I keep laughing, because like I said before, Raven is so relatable. You know, I think everyone has that friend that is just like, you know, they don't follow trends. They sometimes they can be a little kooky or like spooky in regards to like Adam's family, you know, hobbies and things like that. They like, you know, like reading vampire books and like watching Dracula movies or horror films. And the reason I was laughing so much is that I can relate to Raven, because in a way I was the same way. Like, I'm really into Anne Rice, and like my friends, even though they accepted me, the few friends that I had, they accepted me for being who I was, but they just didn't, some of my friends didn't understand it. They're just like, you know, why do you like wearing black sometimes, and why do you like darker makeup and things like that. And then I had to kind of like explain it to them. It's like, you know, for me, I just like wearing darker makeup, but overall, like, I love the gothic culture. It's very beautiful, and I love gothic humor. It's great. Like, it's very campy kind of humor sometimes. So that's why I was laughing the whole time, because, guys, I think each one of us in some part of our lives, you know, has been a Raven where we feel misunderstood. We feel like an outsider. There was a part in the beginning, in the beginning of chapter 1, where she's in class and she says she wants to be a vampire, and everybody's like looking at her like, the fuck, you know. And then the other part that made me laugh too is when she describes her, like, but I said earlier, she describes her friend's mom as a corporate Kathy. Woo, that is so funny. But yeah, I would love to see these books actually be either a TV series or a movie. I think this is a very relatable like book series. Like, it's really good. I am really, really, really impressed so far. All right, so let's start session 2 of my 20-minute reading sprint, and it starts now. Oh my gosh, guys, this is great. Like, this is hilarious. Ah! Oh. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious, guys. So like I think anybody can relate to this like moment in time where you're taking like your gym class, and there's always these, like, it could be a couple of guys, but there are always some of these guys that are just total douchebags to the young ladies for no fucking reason. And sometimes maybe it's because they like them or something like that. But she was just like, look, it's my birthday, I'm not changing into the stupid gym uniform, you know. So pretty much she was telling the gym teacher, you can like fuck yourself. So that's why I was laughing so hard. Because I think everybody relates to that. Like, even myself, guys, I remember gym class, I fucking hated it, but I knew, I was like, I have to do it because I gotta get the grade, you know. And now I don't mind working out. It's very important, guys, to work out. And, you know, I focus on wellness, you know. Don't care what, you know, anybody else thinks about your appearance. It's about your health. And of course, I'm not a medical professional, so always check, guys, with a doctor or a medical professional before you try out any workout regimen or any type of nutritional, you know, change, you know, things like that. But like, yeah, I hated gym class. It was the fucking worst, because like, gym class was either nice if you had really good comrades, but if your comrades were assholes, like Trevor is, for example, to Raven, you dread going to gym class. So I that's why I was laughing, because I was kind of reminiscing and remembering that. All right, let's continue here, guys. Raven is very Addams Family. Like, I appreciate that. I really do. So I am currently on page 28 right now. So making good progress. We're doing good. I like we're introduced to a new character. His name is Jack, and they know each other from school, but he's kind of a wimp, you know. He's kind of a wimp because now they're going into this house that's apparently haunted, but someone is moving into this house, so it's gonna be interesting to see what happens here. I highly recommend, guys, getting a book stand. I actually got this one off of Amazon. It's really nice. I've shown it earlier. I did an episode early on when I started doing the show, because sometimes, guys, you're gonna get books that are gonna be tomes, you know. They're like a doorstop, you know. They get really massive and you can't hold that in your hands, you know, your wrist, you know, and all of that. So I ended up I actually have two wooden book stands. You can use them for like cookbooks and stuff like that, but it does hold, they have some that do hold like thicker books. They do cost more though, because they're made with like a strong kind of like metal material. But the only thing I will say about these cheaper book stands is there is the possibility that the clip to hold the page in place might leave a indent. So if you're someone like a book collector, you're really particular about that stuff, you might want to do some research before getting one of those more affordable book stands. This one is actually made out of wood, so it's very sturdy. You can adjust it. I have it adjusted this way, so that way I'm not like hunching over, and I'm, you know, I have proper posture with my chair. But yeah, this is wonderful. It's very easy. I can just flip and I just clip it and it stays in place. So, and you can use it for small books, medium-sized books, or big tomes. And I noticed that on BookTube that you guys really love the tomes, like you really do. But all right, I got 5 more minutes left for this reading sprint, so let's continue here. Let's see here. Oh, I completely forgot to turn the page. There we go. Oh, excuse me, guys. Aww. So it seems Raven has a love interest. Jack seems to be really fond by her saving his ass, because what happened was he was hanging out with these senior guys, and the total stereotypical, like, you know, football kind of guys, and they had to get some type of souvenir. So Raven was wearing like one of those really nice, like, gothic kind of necklaces with like a brooch kind of in the middle. So then she was like, "Here, Jack, you can take it." And then he's just like, "Really?" And she was like, "Yeah, you don't want those guys making a mockery out of you." So yeah, Raven is really cool. She's really, really cool. So I think she has a new love interest in Jack here, but we'll see. You know what this also reminds me of too, guys? This reminds me a lot of it's like a little bit of like Twilight, but a little more mature. Like if this was how Twilight was written, I think I would have appreciated Twilight a little bit more. But I'm still reading through it, but it's not as good as the Vampire Kisses series. This series is really underrated, to be honest. All right, done reading. Okay, so far, guys, we've learned that Raven is a badass and Becky is weak. They're actually checking out that it was a couple. Okay, so what happened was people found out that Jack broke into this Baroness house that's supposed to be haunted. So what ended up happening is they made it tougher for anybody to get near the mansion until a couple years later. Raven and Becky noticed that the this Romanian Barris's house is sold and there are people living in there, but they're like really mysterious. And that's totally Raven's thing right there. Totally Raven's thing. All right, so let's continue, and we're gonna have another reading sprint here for our vampire romance reading sprint. This is really fun. Right now I'm on page 36, and oh, the narrator, guys, is excellent for this audiobook version of Vampire Kisses, and the narrator is named Devin Soravari. She is awesome. Like, her voice, like, for Raven is excellent, and she's really good at doing the male characters too. Like, hey man, come on man, what are you doing? Like, you know, so that's why I'm laughing, because the narrator does such a great job bringing these characters to life. And I believe this whole series has audiobooks. But here's the thing, guys, because of the unfortunate pandemic that we're currently in, it's a good thing everybody is reading. So there's been this this popularity now of going to the library, when for a very long time, like, a lot of libraries were suffering and some had to close down because people were not going, you know, because now we're in the time of, you know, ebooks, and you know, we're in the time of the, you know, the Kindle and things like that. And you don't even need a Kindle too. I mean, you can read ebooks with like your tablet or your phone. Like, there's so many different options. And then Amazon really set the standard for their I mean, there were many, guys, ebook subscription like services and book clubs and stuff, but once Kindle Unlimited came out, that really set the standard for ebooks. And I mean, Kindle Unlimited, it's not that bad of a subscription if you really use it, but I really wish they would make like if Amazon would make like a Kindle Unlimited version with audiobooks. That would be really badass, because there are audiobook subscription services, but they're really expensive, guys. They're really expensive, like, for sure. But here's a cool thing, and I'm gonna do a separate episode talking about like library services, guys, because you can get audiobooks from your library and stuff for free too. So that can be really cost effective, is having a library card, but not everybody has the access to a library. And now, because of the pandemic, it's like everybody's checking out books, everybody's checking out audiobooks, so the wait times may be longer in getting an audiobook or getting a physical book. But here's the thing, and I know this is the very long ongoing debate in the booktube community about, you know, ebooks versus physical books, and I understand both sides of the argument, but I feel that it would be beneficial to you if you can learn the technology of working with ebooks, because then it's a lot easier to get some of the more newer you know, book titles, like when they come out, you know, on, like, for example, with Amazon, you can just buy it and, you know, it loads to your Kindle, or you can actually read Kindle books on your phone and everything. So Amazon has made it very convenient, very, very, very convenient. And there are other companies as well that have their own book subscription services. But if I were you, if you're really on a budget or you just trying to be economical, because here's the thing, guys, it adds up. If you have a separate, you know, let's say you have Audible and then you have Kindle Unlimited, and you know, it just adds up. So for me, excuse me, when it comes to reading books, I always check my library services first, and then I go from there, because to buy audiobooks too, guys, can be really expensive. Especially I've noticed with the Black Dagger Brotherhood audiobooks, you cannot find those at all. And if you do, guys, let me tell you, my friends, you're gonna be paying between $20 to almost $50. It's insane. So I would say definitely check with your library and see what resources they have to, let's say, to get audiobooks and stuff. It's very easy. I'll definitely have to do a separate episode talking about what services are available with your library, because I think a lot of times people kind of sometimes overlook the library because we're so used to what is called booktuber or booktube consumerism, where we want to like buy books, which is great, you know, it helps the industry, but now we're in a time, guys, little side tangent here, but now we're in a time where books are costing $20. Like, guys, I saw a book box set for like $70, and not everybody is able to like afford that. So there's nothing wrong, you know, checking out books from your library, or, you know, getting Kindle Unlimited, or and actually depending on the genres you're interested in. So for example, guys, Kindle Unlimited is great, especially if you're into romance, because they have a lot of romance ebooks to choose from. I mean, from my personal favorite too, besides paranormal romance, I love me some BBW romances, okay, the plus size romances, because you know, us big ladies deserve a fine ass partner too, okay, but I digress. But yeah, there's so many options, but guys, never ignore your library, because you could say, like, guys, let me tell you, I have saved so much money of buying books by checking out you know, books either through my library, or a lot of libraries will actually have used book sales. And okay, for people who are germaphobes, I can understand that, okay, maybe especially with what's going on now, you may not, you know, feel comfortable doing that, and that's understandable. And some people just don't like you know, people you know, other people touching the book, or you know, whatever. So if that's a concern for you, I can understand you buying new books and stuff, because you know, everybody's different like that. But for me, majority of the books that I buy are used, or and you can also, guys, check out like ebooks and stuff with your library as well. They also have what's called interlibrary loan. So let's say there's a book that maybe your library does not have, you could get it, they get it from another library. It takes a couple weeks, but they bring it to you, and you can pick it up at your library. But you know what else, guys, your library can do as well? Let's say I learned this actually a couple weeks ago, because I was looking for the rest of the Black Dagger Brotherhood like audiobooks, and the library that I go to, they didn't have it, but then the librarian mentioned to me that, oh yeah, we could definitely order them. And I was like, really? So yeah, guys, you can also, you know, it doesn't always happen, but your library, you can check into that. If they do that, they could order the books for you, and then you can read it that way, you know. So yeah, anyway, guys, that you can save yourself from, you know, from having to buy a $20 book, I say go on with your bad self. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna do like 5 more reading sprints, and then that's gonna be it for today's episode. Let me know, guys, how you feel about me doing these reading sprint challenges. This was really fun. You know, I like what I did here. Kind of, you know, you guys can see the countdown and all of that. So all right, so we got 5 more reading sprints to go, so let's get number 5, and we're gonna do it right now. So, oh my gosh, guys. So there's one scene where they're going to a party that Matt is having at his place. And okay, I'm like picturing it, you know, Raven with her, you know, gothic clothing, and then her friend Becky wearing some thrift store clothes. And Raven felt like she's so content in herself, but Becky kind of feels left out because she doesn't look like the rest of like the rich people that they go to school with. And like I could definitely relate to that type of experience, because it's just like, and here's the thing, guys, look, it's not where you buy your clothes, it's how the clothes make you feel and how you style your clothes. Okay, like there is no difference between buying clothes at a thrift store versus buying clothes off the rack, you know, off the fashion runway. It's all how you style your stuff, guys. I have checked out, so, and that's like one of my favorite things to do too, is I've checked out a lot of videos of like fashion stylists doing like thrift store fashion versus high-end runway, and a lot of times, guys, you really couldn't tell the difference. So to those of you out there who may feel like you're ashamed that you have to shop at a thrift store, do not be, because here's the thing, okay, honey, you are saving yourself a lot of money. I still shop at, you know, thrift stores, and I get really nice and interesting clothes or really unique jewelry and stuff. Do not feel bad. And if anybody makes you feel bad because you have to go to a thrift store to get your clothes, you know what you do? The next time, if you see that person, you accessorize yourself with some of the best, the nicest clothes that you got from the thrift store, and just, as RuPaul would say, sashay away. Okay, let them feel it, darling, that your fashion is fierce. Do not feel bad shopping at the thrift store, okay, because you're saving yourself money. And you know, here's the thing, guys, about fashion sometimes is wasteful, because new, you know, like what you think is new and happening now, just give it a month or so. There's a new fashion collection coming out. There's new it's some fashion is something that you really cannot keep up with unless you're like a fashion, you know, like a wardrobe stylist, and you know you have to keep up with the trends. But guys, when it comes to your fashion, it's what's inside that counts. It's what makes you feel good. Okay, just a little side tangent there. Okay, let's continue, guys. Oh, I completely forgot to flip the page. Here we go. They are so bad. Oh no, he did not. Ooh. Okay, Raven, with your bad self. What? Wow, things are really moving fast between Trevor and Raven. Like, they're at the party and Trevor calls her a sexy monster chick. And he's like, I've never kissed, you know, he's like, I've never you know, kissed a young lady with black lipstick before. And she's just like, the fuck? Like, these are some these are some bad young people. They party. I think this is what, and I don't condone this at all, but I think I think what happened is Trevor's parents probably left, or maybe they were working, went on vacation or something like that, and he decided to have a party with all these, you know, young guys and ladies and all that, and that's fucked up. Okay, that is fucked up. Okay, so, you know, to the young ladies, the young guys out there, please do not do this shit. Okay, your parents will, if you got some good ass parents, they're gonna kick your ass for that. So do not do not just have, you know, because here's the thing, guys, when you're, you know, let's say your parents are, let's say they're going on vacation, or like if your parents are like, hey, I gotta go run a couple errands, and let's say, you know, and you're grown, you know, and they leave you, you know, to your own, that, you know what your parents are doing? You should put the two and two together. It's called the responsibility test, okay? Because they're trying to see if you are, mature and you can handle your shit, okay? So if your parents are trusting you with the house and everything, you shouldn't be partying in your parents' home when they not there. That's not good, and I don't condone that at all, okay? All right. So I mean, unfortunately, yeah, it does happen, but I don't condone that, okay? Like, they're giving you the responsibility test means that you are grown and you know how to handle yourself and be responsible. Don't be doing some dumb shit. So don't do what Trevor did. But yeah, that just made me laugh. He's like, oh, I've always wanted to kiss a vampire. And here's another thing to clarify too, another side tangent. Just because someone has a gothic aesthetic to them, that doesn't mean that they're trying to look like a vampire. There are different types of goth, okay? There is new goth. There is there's actually health goth, where you're combining fitness with the gothic lifestyle. I really approve of that. There is Victorian goth. There is the vampire gothic style as well, but there's different types of goth styles, okay? So just because you see someone dressed a little more fancier, a little more stylish, that doesn't mean that they're gothic, and that doesn't mean they're trying to be a vampire. That is a really bad stereotype. So if you see someone that if they are gothic, do not call them a vampire. Like, I mean, if you're joking and you're friends, okay, that's a little bit different, but like, don't do that, okay? So all right, let's continue here. Tangent over. I like that. He's like, I can watch you turn into a bat when she's not a vampire. Aww. Aww. Okay, also guys, I have to of course give some disclaimers. So this is what I like to call my prudish warning. This book does have a very strong female protagonist. So she is like, it's not that she swears, but she can be very vulgar with her words. So I would say that there is partying in this book, so if you're not comfortable with that, and yeah, this is a very intense book, so viewer discretion is advised. So I just want to mention that from the get-go. Okay, let's continue here. Aww. Oh! This young lady is crazy as hell. This is getting really good, and I like the way that Ellen, the way that she writes. It's a very interpersonal style, and I think that's why her books are so relatable, because you are looking through the eyes of Raven. So you know that's why I keep laughing, because I can relate to so much of this, you know, being misunderstood, having like, I really do like gothic fashion and stuff. I'm actually a really huge fan of what they call J-rock, which is also known as Japanese rock, and J-metal, which is Japanese metal. I'm a huge fan of that. So that's why I'm laughing, because she has that kind of spunky like personality. It's really refreshing. Yeah, like Ellen Schreiber, or Schreiber, I always say it wrong, but this book is excellent, so I'm really enjoying it. Whoa. All right, this is so good. I am loving this, guys. This book is hilarious. Like, I've been laughing the whole time. Ellen Schreiber, her writing style is very humorous. So if you definitely like humor, you will appreciate this Vampire Kisses series as well. And it is really, I mean, this is the biggest book, but the rest of them are pretty short, so they're pretty decent reads. The thing that I also like is the chapters are very concise, so it's like boom 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 boom, so you don't feel burned out. Whereas for me, that was my problem with J.R. Ward. Even though, yeah, I'm a hypocrite, because it's like I like Anne Rice, and Anne Rice does like to write long chapters as well. But my issue sometimes with J.R. Ward is that even though some of the chapters are short, it's just so much kind of crammed into a chapter that it's just, it's too much, you know, all at once. So that's why I appreciate her style, because it's still very descriptive. The characters are all being fleshed out, but then you have this humorous like campiness to it that is, it's everything. So I appreciate it. Okay, so we got 4 more reading sprints to go here, so let's start right now. So we're on page 46 now. Yeah, this is getting good, guys. So if you like, for example, if you like series like Vampire Academy, if you like Vampire Diaries, like those type of like shows, I think you guys would really appreciate this series as well. So all right, guys, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually going to take a little bit of a stretch break, and then we'll get back into this reading sprint. All right, so let me take my stretch break and I'll be right back, guys. All right, back for more here. I'm actually going to restart, guys, that fourth reading sprint because I had to stretch just to kind of be fair here. All right, excuse me here, guys. I just had some food, and you know what I realized? Like, the older I get, that's the more like problems I have with like acid reflux. It is terrible, guys. It's absolutely terrible. So, all right, let me restart this reading sprint, and it starts now. All right, so we're on chapter 6 now. Oh. Oh, okay, so this is what happened, guys. This is why I was laughing so hard. Is that, so while Raven was at Matt's like party, it was either Matt or Trevor's party, Trevor started like acting like coming on to her like, oh hey, I like you, that kind of thing. And she's just like, yeah, you know, like whatever, kind of. And then she decides to pull a prank on to pull a prank on him, and it kind of got her points with everyone else. And now he's like trying to get back at her, and she's just like, I am unaffected, bitch. Like, so that's why I was laughing. Sorry guys, I keep like doing this, but I'm still trying to get used to wearing like earbuds, because like it fits nicely in my ear, but sometimes it just irritates my ear a little bit. But I think the next time I'll just use maybe regular headphones. But all right, let's continue here, guys. We are on chapter 7, so we got 3 more reading sprints to go here. Oh, this is hilarious. Okay, so chapter 7, guys, it starts off with her talking about it's like Halloween time in Dullsville, and it's hilarious because the scariest thing, guys, that you can do for like to dress as a costume for Halloween is to be the complete opposite of what people expect you. So instead of her going for what people were expecting her to go for, like a really, you know, fleshed out gothic kind of look, she decided to just be like a more of a toned down like gothic tennis player. So it was great. Her parents were like, you know, taking pictures of her, and she also has a brother as well, and her brother like turns to her and says like, oh, I didn't know you could look nice like this, and she was like, oh. That made me laugh. Brothers and sisters can be like that, where it's like, oh, you look nice today, like fucking really, like ugh, you know. So that's what was making me laugh. All right, give me a second here, guys. I'll be right back here. All right, sorry about that. All right, so we're gonna redo that third reading sprint here, and then we will continue here. So, all right, so it starts now. Yeah, I love Halloween too, guys. Like, Halloween is like my favorite like day in the year. Like, for me, every day is Halloween. I mean, look at me. But all jokes aside, yeah, I love Halloween. I love just, you know, I don't go out or anything like that, but I just like to sit, you know, and just watch a whole bunch of vampire movies and just have a good time. Like, that's just, I love Halloween so much, and it's during the fall, and it's just the right temperature, and oh yeah, it's everything. Everything. This is so funny, guys. I'm sorry I keep laughing, but if you actually take the time to read this, you're just gonna laugh the whole time because it's so fucking ridiculous. It's great. Let me tell you guys, this Trevor guy is the epitome of an asshole. Like, he is so unreasonable. Like, I hate him. I do not care for him at all. So I don't blame Raven when she's just like, you know, fuck you, Trevor. Like, you know, such an ass. This is so hilarious, guys. Oh my gosh. Like, so finally she meets okay, so what happened was her friend, they were driving and they saw this dark figure of a person, and Becky accidentally hit the shadowy figure. Turns out this shadowy figure is the same guy that I'm thinking the same person that they see at the door, because Trevor decided to, you know, be an asshole and spill all of Raven's candy and all this mess, and he decided to be more of an asshole and try to vandalize the new neighbor's home, and she prevents it from happening. And then she sees this guy that is like the epitome of perfection for her, like just gothic like wonderfulness. So now we're moving on to chapter 8. And also, guys, I am an hour and 15 minutes into this audio book, so after this reading sprint we got 2 more to go, and I'm currently chapter 8, which is page 63. So we are doing pretty good. Hey, we have, of course, Bella. Welcome to the program. And Bella says hello. Yeah, so right now I'm just doing what's called a reading sprint. I'm trying to see how much that I can read, and of course I'm listening to the audiobook version of Vampire Kisses by Ellen Schreiber, and this is wonderful. It's so fucking hilarious. But let's continue, guys. Chapter 8, here we go. Yeah, this book is great. Like, I'm gonna probably read this whole series coinciding, because right now currently I am reading J.R. Ward's Black Dagger Brotherhood, because that was recommended to me by you alternative book snobs. And then I'm gonna be reading Vampire Kisses. I try to read 2 series, guys, a month, just to kind of keep the pace going with it. Because sometimes I can get, like, you know, disjointed, where I'm like reading this book, then I'm reading that book, then I'm reading this book. So I try to make sure I kind of keep myself on track. So I make sure I just pick 2 series to read, and then just go one book after the other. And then I also pick one book to review besides the books that I'm like reading and reacting to. So right now I'm currently reading M.A. Gonzalez and her latest book release that is called Marcus, which is it's interesting. It's actually a vampire who falls in love with a shapeshifter. So that one's a shorter read. I'm trying to kind of take my time with it, because I want to do a a thorough like review on it, but I'm gonna be focusing on those two main series and then maybe a side book or something. But all right, let's continue. I got 4 minutes left here, and then I'll let you guys know what I think here. Trevor is such an asshole. What an idiot. He really is. He's really an idiot. So what ends up happening is, okay, so there's a butler that's at this the Romanian princess's like haunted mansion, or the Romanian, I think she was a baroness. Yeah, baroness. And all of a sudden he's asking like, who does this tennis racket, like whoever it belongs to, I'm gonna keep it, so they'll have to come and get it. So she thinks that she's in serious trouble because she had to throw the tennis racket at Trevor to stop him from vandalizing their house. So to conclude, Trevor is an idiot. Okay, let's wrap up chapter 8 here. Ah, this is good. Getting really good. Aw, poor Raven. She's getting shit for something that she didn't do. Okay, so done reading here. So that was the third reading sprint. So yeah, I am really liking this book so far, guys. I mean, the characters are so colorful and multi-dimensional. I'm still doing research on the series and learning more about Ellen Schreiber. She has a very comedic sense, so it's not like slapstick, but it's just enough where it's really refreshing. So she's at the point now where she's making a confession to her father that she lost the tennis racket. It's in possession with their new neighbors, and he's telling Raven, like, you need to get this racket because I have a game to play tomorrow. Okay, so now we got one more reading sprint to go, but this is the second one. So we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, and go. 20 minutes. Oh my gosh, this is great. So what ends up happening is her dad gets so pissed that he's just like, you know what, Raven, you need to get a job. And she's just like, you know, like, but then she ends up getting a job at a, like, I think her father helped her to find it, working at like a travel agency. And, like they're trying to like make her something that she's not, and she's like, oh, I hate this. Guys, I swear I have to make a t-shirt that says corporate Kathy on it. Oh my gosh, this got me laughing so hard. Just the thought of, okay, so a corporate Kathy is pretty much like a suburban housewife. And if you've seen the movie Stepford Wives, that's what literally in a way a corporate Kathy is. So just think of like a businesswoman, but more like yeah, I would say more suburban. Sorry for yawning, guys, but yeah, it's fucking hilarious. Like this shit is, I've never laughed so hard in my life. And I love like the banter that she has with her like parents. It's golden. It's so good. It just makes me laugh like non-stop. All right, so we got 13 more minutes here. Yeah, the banter between Raven and Trevor is just, it's so legendary. It's so good. Like really, really good. She's late for her like first day on the job. Man, Trevor, he must have a lot of money, because like anywhere she is, Trevor is not far behind. It's like, you know, maybe find, like, maybe you need a job, maybe, you know, find something to do. Oh my gosh, so annoying. All right, we're on chapter 10, guys. Excuse me, guys. Oh man, this is getting really good. Oh, this is so good, guys. So she's at her job working at the traveling agency, and then there's this guy that she describes as the creepy man, kind of like Lurch. This has a lot of influence with like Addams Family in there too. There's a lot of campy, like kooky, spooky kind of humor. So if you like the Addams Family, you will definitely like this book series as well. It's kind of like a cross between like Vampire Diaries and the Addams Family. That's how I would describe it as. But it's great because I love how I keep forgetting her name. Devin, the narrator, does the voice for like the vampires, and he like comes in. He's like, can you get me 2 tickets to go to Romania? You know, like and stuff. I like how she does it. It's great. It's really, really good. All right, so we got 2 more minutes, guys, here for this reading sprint. So let's continue here. Ooh. Ooh, excuse me, guys. Sorry. Time for bed. All right. Okay, so done reading that section. Right now, I am currently on page 81. So I'm almost, guys, like 38% done with reading this book. So pretty good progress. I'm gonna have to do these reading sprints more often because for some reason I enjoy doing it. It helps me to kind of like understand the story more, and you guys get commentary a little bit on the book. All right, so we are doing our final 20-minute reading sprint. Let's get it. Let's make the most out of it. Let's do it right now. All right, make sure I turn the page here. Woo. Okay, so the nice thing, guys, about this series too is they do uphold some of the traditional like vampire book tropes, such as, for example, they don't when they get pasta at they can eat regular food besides blood, and they went out to eat at this pasta place and they asked for no garlic, so that's why everybody thinks they're vampires, which that's hilarious. So sorry, guys. 15 more minutes here. I like that the chapters are short, so you know it makes it a nice quick read, you know. The only thing that's a pain, guys, with this stand though is like I have to like lift it, and then sometimes the pages come undone. So it's holding up so far, but we'll see, because this book is over 500 pages, so we'll see how long it can like withstand. Excuse me, guys. All right, 13 more minutes to go here, guys. Oh. Ooh, okay, so this is really something, guys. Do you know that Trevor this whole time had the tennis racket, and just to get back at Readathin to make her work at a job she didn't like? Ooh, that is such a bitch ass move. All right, we got 10 more minutes here. All right, we got 8 more minutes here, guys. All right, so we got 6 more minutes left here. Things are getting good, guys. Aww. Feel bad for Gothic guy. Like, people are, man, Dullsville really sucks, guys. Like, people just spreading all these unnecessary rumors. Like, what the hell? All right, 4 more minutes. Yes. Aww. All right, 2 more minutes, guys. Man, she can't even get love from her own family with her fashion. Oh, that's hilarious. But here's the thing, guys. Sometimes it's like for me, I was very fortunate that like my parents like understood like some of the fashion choices I made, but I knew that there was some fashion where it's like, okay, my parents would not understand it. So, you know, your parents are not always going to understand your fashion choices, but you still have to be, you know, respectful with your fashion choices, especially especially if your parents are giving you a hard time. That's the thing with fashion. You kind of have to mature, and if your parents don't understand it, they don't understand it. But I think, you know, certain fashion, like Gothic fashion, is going to be for, you know, I would say there are parents that are like, you know, into alternative fashion, so that's a little bit different. They kind of understand it. But if your parents are not into Gothic fashion, stuff like that, for example, it may take some time, or they may just not understand it, and it's just something where it's just your aesthetic, you know. But there's still a respect thing, you know, when it comes to your parents, like, and certain fashion, like, you know, they're your parents, you still gotta respect them, you know what I mean? So, all right, guys, we got a couple seconds left here. Let's see what I can do here. All right, got a couple more seconds. right, there we go, guys. That is going to be it. That is my first ever reading sprint. And guys, let's conclude here. Let me let you know what my progress is so far. I was so close to finishing 100 pages today. So right now I'm on page 98, and currently I am on chapter 13. And in regards to the audiobook, I read or listened today to over 2 hours, which is great. So I'm at 45% through this book, and I still have 2 hours and like 30 seconds left. So I should be able to finish it tomorrow. I tried seeing if I could read this book in a day, but it's like 500 pages. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to see if I can read a book like every week or every 2 weeks, because some of the bigger books you just need time to kind of like absorb it. But overall, guys, what do I think about Vampire Kisses? This is book 1 in the Vampire Kisses series by Ellen Schreiber. This book is phenomenal, guys. It is so good. It is really funny. It just reminds you of, you know, when you were in that time in your life where you just felt like you were, you know, understood and people didn't get you because you had a unique look to you or your personality. I think Raven is such a likable character, a very, very relatable. She's very campy. She's still kooky and spooky, but she's like a, you know, on the outside people think of her as not being normal, like her parents and her brother, but in the inside, Raven, guys, she is very normal because she's honest with herself and she respects her gothic aesthetic and everything. So guys, if you like, you know, TV series like Addams Family, if you like you know, interesting like vampire pop culture references like Anne Rice, for example, and the Hammer vampire films, if you want a different take on like people that are into, I would say, gothic culture and vampires and stuff, and you want, you know, if you just want an interesting take on it that still follows some of the traditions of the vampire, you will love this series. It is great. Hopefully I can finish it tomorrow because I got like 2 more hours to go here. So yeah, guys, that's it. Of course, thanks so much for watching Bookshade, and you can keep in touch with me the following ways. I am both on Twitter and Instagram, which is at Bookshade and then the number 1. So guys, thanks so much once again for watching my first ever vampire romance reading sprint. I greatly enjoyed it. I'll have to do these in the future. I update the show twice a week, which is on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and I tend to do my show more like later on in the day because I noticed that that's when people mainly check out the show. But yeah, this was a great start. I can't believe almost 100 pages in like 2 hours, so that's not bad for me. I've been really working on, guys, getting my reading speed to be faster, because I got a lot of book series to go through. Like, for example, Outlander definitely is going to take me a while. Those are some heavy tomes, man. And keep those recommendations coming, guys. Thanks so much for all of the vampire book suggestions and stuff, because that's like the main genre I really love reading. And recently, guys, I have a taste and a likeness for historical romance. So let me let you guys know what is coming up for books that are currently going to be on my TBR that I'm going to be doing reading sprints for. So I have, and these are all audiobooks. So this is like I'm going to be doing a lot of audiobook wrap-ups. So I have the latest book audiobook from Lisa Kleypas because I've heard so much about her, especially in the romance booktube community. I've really been getting into historical romances. I just finished my first historical romance, really, which was called The Duchess Deal. That was a really good book. Absolutely wonderful. I'll have to do a separate review on that. And I have this is my audiobook TBR is I have Suddenly You by Lisa Kleypas. I also have another Lisa Kleypas book that is called Someone to Watch Over Me. And then I have a whole bunch of Shia Black's books. So I have More Than Want You, More Than Need You, More Than Love You, More Than Crave You, and then the final one is More Than Tempt You. So I got a lot of audiobooks to listen to, but guys, audiobooks is a great way to read books because you can listen to it, you know, when you're on the go running errands. Actually, today I was cleaning my room and listening to an audiobook I just finished up recently. So yeah, there will be, I know a lot of you guys enjoyed the audiobook wrap up, so I'm going to keep that up. And I noticed that I tend to read or listen to more audiobooks than physical books, but I'm gonna try to do a good blend. And also I have the M.A. Gonzalez Marcus that I'll also have to read and do a separate review on that as well. So guys, thanks once again watching another episode of Bookshade, and like I always say, guys, remember to embrace the darkness of reading, and every day is Halloween. All right guys, until next week, take care.